Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Thalya Tarigan. Well, I agree with the motion saying that the government will give that penalty for the corruptors. There are some reasons why I can say that. The first reason is because corruption is such a mass destruction of people. And also the corruptors are really a burden of this country, especially a burden for the poor people. As we know, the corruptors are stealing money from our country and it causes many people died because of it. Which the money that they have stolen can help us, can help the poor people, can help our country to become better, but instead the corruptors steal it from us. And they do it without feeling guilty. They do it only to fill the need of their luxury life so that they can travel around the world to fit their ego lifestyle and to fit their Insta story. And I think that's such a selfish human behavior, right? And also, as we know from the status quo, the corruptors are getting more and more bigger and spread all over the world. They really be in everywhere, in every places, even in our surrounding. Maybe we know that the person, maybe we know the person, but we may not know the person is actually maybe corruptors, because corruptors are really the imposter here. The corruptors are not only in the highest level of society, but also in the smallest. They really in all level of society, such as like the leader of the village and even the principal. Some of the principal do the corruption. I said some of the principal, not all of them. So if the smallest level, like the principal, I mean like the principal is the smallest level compared to the government, right? So if the smallest level can do corruption and they corrupt until 1 million, can you imagine how much the highest level can steal the money from us, from our country? So that's such a mass destruction, and they really are a burden of this world, a burden of this country, a burden of the poor people. So that's why the final choices is to give corruptor death penalty. And the second one is to give deterrent effect and also shock therapy for the corruptors. As we know, the corruptors are not afraid of God. They're not afraid of God. Why would I say that? Because when they got into their position, they already take an oath of that position. Like they already take an oath, like they will do good for our country, and they will work honest, and they will not do the corruption. But instead, they still do the corruption. It means that the corruptors are not afraid of God, right? And then we have to make the corruptors feel afraid of something. We have to unlock their own fear, such as their own life, because humans are naturally afraid of death, right? So if the death penalty really be executed, it will give shock therapy to the corruptors, and the corruptors wouldn't do corruption ever again because they feel afraid that they will get the death penalty. And also the newest corruptor will think twice, even 1,000 times, even not trying to think even once to do corruption, because they know that they will get the death penalty. I mean, what's the point you do corruption if you know that eventually you will die at the end? That's pointless, right? So if we don't give death penalty to the corruptors, they will think that they will be fine, and that they will be it doesn't matter if I take a lot of money from my country, they said, because I will be fine at the end. I will be in jail for a year or maybe a half year, and then I will be free with a bunch of money in my hands that I already stole from my country beforehand. That's right there. And also the last one is jail is not the answer for these corruptors, but the death penalty is. Because if we gave the corruptor only a sentence in a prison, they can still taste the freedom. For example, like we already witnessed it ourselves. A lot of corruptors in our country got a sentence in a prison, but still can go outside the prison, right? Even in the prison, they got a VIP room. The prison provide a VIP room with luxurious facilities such as air conditioner, television. They provide a delicious meal for the corruptors. So what's the point putting them there? What's the point putting the corruptor inside of the prison when in fact there's nothing different between the prison and their house? they still got a very luxurious facilities in there, and absolutely the corruptors will do the corruption again because they doesn't feel the trend effect in there, and they think jail is still a comfort place for them, right? So if the government won't do anything, if the government only relax and just gave a sentence in a prison for the corruptors, how about our country in the future? How about the fate of our new generation? There will be a lot of corruptors in everywhere in this whole world, from the villages to the big city, up to the big city, right? So I think it's better to give that penalty to the corruptors, and to avoid any worse that can happen in our country, the government will give the death penalty for the corruptors. I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.